Yo, what's going on out there? So today, I'm doing the same old thing that I've been doing for the last week and a half here. I did the dirty. I did the thing that I said I was never going to do, and I picked up this little local situation. Now, it's not a forever thing. I'm not stuck on this route for the rest of eternity. I'm still at the same company that I have been at for the last year and a half. But this was something that they just needed covered. And I believe that I talked about that in a video in the past here, how they just needed it covered for a couple of weeks, and that was it. On track. So yeah, they needed it covered, and I guess I was the man for the job. And I'm not here to lie to you. It's been reasonably enjoyable. The guy on the other end that I'm working with here, I think I kind of explained the situation. Basically, I run the overnight portion down to Chicago and back to the Appleton yard. And, you know, you would think, like, oh man, you gotta go to Chicago, and like it's south side of Chicago too, so we're talking the hood basically, and you're thinking like, oh man, it's gotta be the worst thing ever, gotta be so bad, like, oh, it's gotta be horrible. And now the drive into Chicago, it's the same old Chicago. Like, it's usually I get there around 8 o'clock. I start running into traffic, and then I'm checking into the place at 8:30. That ain't that bad. And then the drive back usually happens at like 11, 10:30 to 11. Now, something happens in Chicago where everyone goes night-night right at 10:47 and 32 seconds. That's when everyone goes to bed and no one's on the road. I don't know what happens, but everyone decides, nah, it's over with, we're putting it down, it's done for the night. And no one's on the road. So, you know, they might have a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit through the middle of Chicago, but you could do 60. And I'm not saying that I'm doing it, but you can, you know? So it's kind of nice like that. And then, of course, you get out of Chicago, you go up to Milwaukee, and yeah, obviously no one's up there. So you're just running, and it's straight miles. No, like, you see how many cars are around me right now? When I'm driving back at night, there's like maybe a car on my side, and I will pass a car like every minute or so, something like that. So there's no one out here, which is nice, and it's at night, so no one's bothering me on my phone. I can do, you know, I just listen to my music. I watch my little you know what I'm saying. I listen to my little podcast situations, documentaries, little informational things, all kinds of stuff like that. So that part of it is pretty nice. And then on the flip side, I'm sleeping in my own bed at night, and then, well, it's technically morning, but yeah, get home like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep by like 4:30, maybe 5. And then I'm up at like 11 or noon. And then I got, you know, 4 or 5 hours to kill, do whatever. And I've been riding around my motorcycle, hanging out with people. You know, it's been reasonably enjoyable. But I did get my first paycheck today from this run, and it was not good. I mean, I don't want to go into details about how much we're talking about here, but it was a reasonable pay cut to be on this route. Usually, I'll just explain it to you like this. Usually, I'm making like $500 more being on the road. That's basically what we're talking about. And this is like before taxes and all that crap. But usually I'm making like $300 to $500 more a week just being over the road. not being home. And I mean, it adds up to just more miles. That's really all it is I do, like on this route, it's like 2,000 miles a week. That's it. And that's all you do. You go down to Chicago, back, that's 400 miles flat, and it's over with. But it's strange because it's a nice little change of pace. I've been telling everyone, I feel like I'm part-time right now because I'm like, it's like a 10-hour shift, something like that. 8 to 10 hours, usually that's a normal day. And then I got, how many hours off? I don't know, like 12 hours off or something like that, 13 hours. And I sleep for like 6, 7 of them, and then I got the whole rest of the time to jack around with. So that has been reasonably enjoyable. Now, I will say that all that has been on my mind when I'm riding back and forth here is I just wish that I could see the hills of West Virginia. I wish that I could see the plains of Colorado and just see the Rocky Mountains right on the edge of Denver there. I wish that I could be, in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. I wish that I could be running my favorite road in the whole country in Pennsylvania. All kinds of stuff like that. And you don't really, you can't get that when you're local like this. This is essentially local. So it's not really scratching that itch too well, but it's scratching a different itch, basically. It's this being home thing. And I've been feeling really weird, like this strange anxiety, I would call it. Like I'm not actually working, like I don't feel like I'm productive. As strange as that sounds. It seems like I'm not really doing much. But at the same time, it's also strange because I'm working with the same people every day, and the driver on the other end, he's pretty darn cool. And we're doing a little teamwork situation here, so we're looking out for each other and all that. It's kind of some old school trucking sort of feel, but all in all, I'm gonna be a little bit sad to let this route go, because it's nice to be home. But at the same time, I'm gonna be very excited to get back to sleeping in the truck, to get back to worrying about where I'm going to stop for the night, to get back to worrying about, what load I'm picking up, what the shipper and the receiver is going to look like. All of that stuff is stuff that I miss. Like the route that I'm going to run is oh, am I going to see something new? I'm going to see something that I have seen before, but I like to see. So I'm pretty ready to get back to all that stuff. And I mean, I'm not here to lie. It's going to kind of suck not being able to ride my motorcycle every day. I really messed up and felt deeply in love with my motorcycle, but that is neither here nor there. What else? What else about this little local situation? I don't know. I thought there'd be a whole lot more jerking around, but it's the same route every single day. I'm picking up different stuff every day, different materials and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's kind of like the same configuration on my trailer usually. I mean, some stuff is a little out of left field, but generally speaking, it's pretty stock stuff. Yeah. Figured out how to work this trailer properly with the Conestoga, which is cool. I mean, I kind of like the the trailer in some ways, but in other ways, I really just want to drench it in gasoline and throw a match on it, because it's really annoying to fiddle with straps and like to get things properly done to where I can roll down the road and be like, I can't believe I didn't have that done correctly. I hate doing that, but I had to do it before. Now I figured it out, so I don't know. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know. It's been enjoyable, but I'll be happy to send it off, honestly. When this guy comes back here, I'll be pretty happy to get back into the OTR stuff. And this was something that I did not think I was going to miss. I truly miss sleeping in my truck. I really, really miss that. I don't know. I don't know what it is about sleeping in this truck, but I really enjoy it for whatever reason. It's like a little cocoon or something. I don't know what the situation is, but it's a strange thing. I think maybe I'm just so used to it because I spent probably, who knows, like 500 days, yeah, right, like 400 something days out of the last year and a half sleeping in this truck and the other truck. I don't know, institutionalized. No, I don't know. Yeah, but I suppose I'll let y'all go. I'm just rambling here. I'm gonna get on with my day. Y'all can get on with yours. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.